John is at OHSU.
Guess at this point, I'll have the realization if it was about clock when I got there, that would probably be just past that last bus drops off. I just caught the last bus here. But it's only about 2.5 mile walk to OHSU. 3 miles maybe. So Lamborghinis, here I go. Yeah, I'll put on the heel toe express, but then, just keep my eye out. I'll pay for a cab.
Betsy.
I need to make a phone call in the car out.
Yes.
I need to call Veronica immediately. Agent Grey, excuse me.
Yeah, you got your wire.
I call him the drive to the briefing.
This is Agent Grey.
Agent Grey, this is Agent Caldwell. Oliver just tipped off the group of lycanthropes at Laurelhurst Park to our approach and warned them that we were coming, and then fled from me and my agents when we attempted to leave.
She sighs. I was afraid something like this would happen.
The detectives no happier either.
Well, there are ways of solving that, aren't there?
There certainly are. There certainly are, Agent.
There is a private jet at Portland Airport waiting for the three of you to board. Procure the specimen for Dr. Mayriner and escort yourself and your companions to the jet.
I understand.
If they are not cooperative, be sure that I've got a favor from Dr. Martin. And
Betsy just sighs over the phone as she awaits the inevitable click.
Yep, click.
I tell the agent in the car with me. Well, first I ask, are they following to the agent with me?
The reality deviants, no.
The parameters have changed. The 2 enlightened scientists I've worked with have just gone rogue and need to be escorted to Portland Airport. But first, we need the were-raven. I drive us to the briefing room to discuss a new plan.
You've got your agents, you got your briefing room.
I don't have a plan.
Well, over to John and Oliver. John waiting outside to see if anybody shows up.
I am very hidden.
But you see Oliver pull up.
Wonderful. Then I will pop out when I see him. Oh, kid, are you okay? Is the other kid okay? Is everything okay? Jesus Christ.
He's fine. I'm fine. I don't know what to do. I went to the park. I probably shouldn't have, but he's just a kid.
We can't let her fucking do this. Do you know where he is?
You? I mean, yeah, but I can't get within 100 feet of him. Otherwise, neither of us can talk. It just bogs everything down. I don't want to be anywhere near there. Do you have a safe place that just lay down tonight?
Yeah, I've never taken Betsy to my safe house.
You do seem to remember Dr. Marnie at the end of that last visit, stabbing a needle into Molly's.
You had to remind him.
Oh, fuck me.
No, I can handle that. Purge it with some magics, right?
John will hand the kid a pocket knife.
Using John's knife to dig it out.
Well, first of all, you just hitting the area looking for it. There is no tracking device. Nothing was injected into you. A small cylinder of flesh is missing where you got stabbed with the needle. It's more of a biopsy needle.
Oh, so they could track me with that. Oh.
They're growing another one of you is what it sounds like.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. They can have them. I'm fine.
You sure it's not in your blood?
Pretty sure.
All right.
Well, you go to John's safe house. How's John's safe house?
See, this is not how you make friends, Betsy. I mean, I guess this is how you make friends with an emphasis on make, as in instead of create being the implication, it's more of the forcing. So I guess this is actually how you make friends, but Jesus Christ, that's a whole new context for making friends.
It is actually decorated the exact same way as John's house because it is very inconspicuous 80s house.
Is it a house?
Yeah.
He lives in an apartment, but he has a safe house.
Yes.
Okay.
The house was his, and then him and his wife got divorced, and he just hasn't been able to bring himself to move back there. So he's been living in an apartment for the past 15 years. Oh, John, you're a sad man.
It's probably not decorated like it's probably just empty, like faded pieces of the wallpaper where pictures once were.
Yes.
Like half the furniture's gone.
You can very much tell that one half of this house has left. John just has a haunted look in his eye and he's just not mentioning anything.
Well, this night just keeps getting sadder, don't it?
Yep, didn't think I'd ever have to come back here. After she burned all our marriage records, there's no real evidence of us ever being together, so, it's,
John's arcade.
What happened, John? You gotta have a bottle of old booze in here. We're not gonna make it through the night. We may as well at least be drunk. Like, I don't know. I think I'm in pretty big trouble. I went to the park and I gave them a heads up, and I think I fucked up.
Oh, kid. I think all this is a little too fucked up.
Yeah.
The bird kid's safe for tonight. I guess we'll just have to find out where the fuck Betsy and a fucking rats are going in the morning.
Speaking of Betsy and the rats.
Yep.
Wait, Mr. Detective here. He said something about his father and living at his father's house. The bird kid.
Yes.
Dizzle, did you say Samuel Graves?
I didn't say the last name, but I did say Dick Samuelson.
Samuelson.
Okay.
Given the fact that you know he's a 2-year-old bird, you can figure that's pretty literal.
Yeah.
If you lived at his dad's place, and his name's Samuelson.
Yeah. It's not too hard to put fish and fish together there.
The harder part is finding out which Samuel.
Exactly.
Investigation. You've got like 3 different Samuels, but none of them died anytime recently.
Okay.
There was one that died like yesterday.
Jesus.
There was one that died like 6 years ago, and there was one that died like 18 years ago.
And none of them look like the kid, right?
No, and if the kid's telling the truth, he's 2 years old. These people were dead long before he was born.
He did say his adopted father.
So you're not really looking for looks.
Right.
You're more, there's no Samuels
That was alive at the time.
and that died afterwards.
Right.
Unless it was the one that died yesterday, but he seemed like he wasn't quite that broken up about it. John? Well, you're dealing with vampires. They didn't have to have died after.
You know what? That's true. That's true. Any of these guys live out in Southeast?
No.
No.
You can go check the tube. It's gonna take some time.
I mean, I'll let Ollie know what I've stumbled onto. We can go out looking tonight, or we can go drinking tonight and go looking in the morning. It's up to you and how hungover you can be.
Ollie will sniffle and say, like, I need a drink.
All right, buddy. John will get out 2 glasses. They're shot glasses, but they've got Looney Tunes characters on them. Like, one of them's Marvin Martian, the other one's like Daffy Duck. And he will start recounting the tale. There was a pregnant woman who was not John's wife. There was a pregnant woman who was John's wife. And there was John.
Great start.
Betsy
Yes.
been informed that the casualty tolerance is high within specific parameters. The Trash Mahal has long been considered a fire hazard, which would aid in a cover-up.
Betsy, so help me God, I will end you.
To be honest, the Trash Mahal's kind of a secondary objective for Betsy. She's more thinking about what to do with her employees, unruly as they may be. I'm trying to track down that walkie-talkie John is so fond of. I've held it in my hands before. I'm somewhat familiar with it. During the first session, I asked to look at it and determined that it didn't work. I'm sort of imagining it like the telescreen effect, where I can look through the connections of the world, the cables, the antennas, the satellites, and find what I'm looking for, going through that way.
Unfortunately, WTD already knows all of your technocracy tricks.
It's a contradiction in terms. It would be if John were trying to track down more butterflies. You're trying to track down someone's avatar.
That's got a pretty strong magical resonance.
It does have a pretty strong magical resonance. Yes, you can attempt to hunt down the source of the signal. and track it to the walkie-talkie. How exactly is Betsy doing?
So I'm plugging into a payphone with the little phone jacking thing I was using before.
Yeah, Captain.
Yeah. And I want to connect to a NWO owned radio station and use their antenna to scan for the energy I'm looking. Figure out what direction based on like maybe 2 different antennas from 2 different stations.
Okay.
Finding, kind of triangulating where I'm going.
You were told where the best place to perform this particular technique would be. Up on top of the Sylvan Hills. Washington Park is next to the Hoyt Arboretum. It's next to the zoo. It's on top of the hills between Beaverton and Port. And it's the highest place around. The moths are at it again, fluttering around your steering wheel. Sometimes, every now and then, when you're driving over there, they'll start to turn counterclockwise, spinning around the steering wheel, as if trying to get you to turn left.
Is there an agent in the car with me?
I don't know, is there?
Probably not. I have them hitting up for a non-lethal extraction of 2 rogue assets. I'd like to see if there's enough hooped up between them and me to get a pair of zipper ties. They're premium laced cuffs to make it so you can't cast magic.
I think you have to turn in some of your requisition stuff.
I'd be willing to turn in some of the stuff I've got. I'm going to get rid of my Hemophage Basics library, my spies in the nightlife, and I'm going to get rid of the hotel. I'll go back to living in my car to get zipper ties.
All right. The moths are still bothering you as you go to turn in the requisition forms and pick up the new stuff from Quartermaster.
I'll go where they're guiding me without making it look like I'm being guided by magic invisible moths only I can see. And technique.
They're guiding you up into the hills, up into the Sylvan Hills.
Brutal. Definitely make sure my taser is ready and my second skin is on. And I get 2 agents to follow my car in one of our cars.
Agent 6 gets on the line. Agent Caldwell.
Yes?
This area is restricted.
By who?
Personnel file C304.
Do I know
You
who
recognize that as your personnel file.
I'm not allowed up here. Okay. I rub my temples and say, that's unfortunate. Okay, I've hit to Katu.
Finding a good place to turn around up in these windy-ass hills. You eventually have to resort to just turning around in the middle of the 2-lane road and just hoping you don't get T-boned. The moths fly inside of your vents when you're doing this. Halfway through, when your car is perpendicular to the road, it dies.
Well, I turn on the emergency blinkers, and I look for the 2 guys I had following me in a car.
They pull up a minute or so later. What seems to be the problem, Agent Caldwell?
The car is stopped again. Would one of you mind helping me push this into the shoulder so we can get going?
Sure. They'll roll up their sleeves. Yes. There's something that comes out of the trees. You can't make it out for the life of it. Is there. It is 10 feet in front of you, and you can't see it. Whatever it is has just knocked down one of your agents, and the agent is shriveling like a mummy.
I'll hit my alarm button before I attempt to fire my taser into what I can't observe. I hope that's something they covered at the horizon, but I don't think it is.
It is absolutely not. You are trying to fumble with your button. Oof.
Yeah, luck left me for some reason.
Wow.
I can't imagine why.
Well, you fumble at the button and it drops into the grass, into the gravel, into the ditch next to the road. Fumbling to find it, you accidentally fire the taser into the grass, having to disentangle the wires to free it. By the time you look back up, the other agent, after several gunshots and panicked screams, lies withered on the ground. We meet again.
I still can't observe the entity.
With an effort of will and resolve. The thing is coming into shape, although your eyes want to look away from it. There's a voice in the back of your head saying, no, look away, go home, there's nothing to see here. But standing in front of you is the creature who introduced itself as Magnus the Cannibal. It's Mothman, and he has just eaten 2 of your agents.
My response is, I want to believe.
Now, Betsy has some options. What will occur to Betsy? Sometimes you get those moments where your life flashes before your eyes, but I've never experienced that. I've experienced moments where all possible decisions that I could make flash before my eyes. In a seeming instant, I know that I have option A, option B, option C, or get fucked.
Mass Effect ending.
And Betsy, do you have any ideas on what Betsy could be thinking? Your taser is tangled in the grass.
Yeah, the taser's dropped. Is my camera in the car, or have I managed to keep it on me?
You've always got it around your neck.
Say, Magnus, I'd love a photo. I guess I'm thinking that finding Mothman is taking Mothman's picture.
Option 1, ask Mothman for a selfie.
Probably die.
Option 2, any ideas?
I imagine I could try and pull my taser off the ground, and then I would get murdered.
Okay, fight and probably die.
I suppose I could try and run for the car and die. I'm pretty well cornered and at the whims of Mothman. I suppose I could try and weave magic on Mothman to convince him that I'm a friend. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna try the Master's Edge.
You have dealt with being cornered by a vampire before recently.
Do I think Mothman's a vampire? I guess I'd imagined him as more of a lycanthrope.
I mean,
I guess he'd suck those guys to death in front of me.
And you've seen him at night twice. He's advanced your stammering. What are you saying?
Very good question. Since I'm drawing on my authority, my dominion.
What's great about this is that as it's not a standard skill roll, you just have to say something you think Betsy would believe is convincing, not necessarily something that would actually be convincing to the other person.
I'm a reporter for the Independent Thinker, and I think you, Mothman, are an underrated individual in North America. I'd like to interview you.
An interview?
Yeah, you're famous!
I am somewhat behind the times. Famous.
I point at the patches all over my coat.
You made these?
These and more, my friend. I point over to my car and say,
no, that was an angry you made these.
Oh.
None must know of Magnus the Cannibal. You escaped.
Plenty of people. People aren't even confused what these are of, Magnus. You're not exactly stealthy.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What
have been in these woods for decades?
Yeah, so hidden I've found you twice, Magnus.
Look here.
Look here, you little shit.
I'd like to bend over and find my transponder, brush it off while turning it on. Nonchalantly, like I'm picking up my glasses after they've fallen off my face.
Betsy, as you pick it up, you are looking at the real Mothman. The Technocracy seems to have brainwashed you into not remembering having met the first time.
But the memory had resurfaced in a dream.
One that you were unlikely to share or take as real.
No, but it seems pretty clear, given exactly how fucked I am in the same situation, that was probably a real dream. My genius was just reminding me.
Well, your moths are currently flying frantically around the button.
Are they whispering anything?
They're lying. They're lying.
They're lying to you.
Yeah, I guess I'm glaring at the moths. I haven't pushed the button, but I seem grumpy at this small electronic. Unless Magnus can see the moths as well.
You are who you pretend to be. They make you think that your face is a mask.
Betsy looks at the moths and out loud says, "What am I supposed to do with that?" Like gesturing with her hands. Even if that's true, what do I do with that?
Run!
I look over at Magnus and says, "Are you hearing these guys?"
Then thoughts?
Yeah.
They are speaking to you.
Yeah. Like last time.
You are truly gifted. And this for you.
Betsy feels relieved and then thinks about how that phrase making her feels relieved feels.
Then we'll be socially conditioned by Mothman.
Betsy Caldwell does not return from the hills alive. To her delight, she finds that not only is Mothman real, but a fantastic conversationalist.
It's amazing. It's everything I've ever dreamed of.
He only preys on people who come near his haven or on vampires. So, as much as you may be partially bound to him, as he will very much like to drink you, he will be bound to you as well.
Do I have to look up what happens to a mage when they become a vampire?
It is called Gilgul. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you drink my magic out. Lose connection to my avatar and it gets replaced with the beast.
Yep.
Brutal.
The beast is now Mothman.
That's rad.
Well then, for our other party members, Betsy never comes looking. Well, at least not for the next 3 or 4 days. But John's not sure if that's because you're just so fucking stealthy, or if Betsy gave up, or what. But without Betsy hunting them, which she may do in another context, but that's for another game, John and Oliver can safely retreat into anonymity once again.
We get to live together at my house.
You know that no one will find him there. Maybe someday soon the college will reopen. If not, there's always PCC for now. John's more than capable of getting a fake ID or two, a new identity
Oh yeah.
for Oliver, should that prove necessary.
With him stopping Agent Grey,
I don't know that Oliver will return there.